Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami Ntando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyaye sibuka ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senza ama reviews ama recaps. Siyaphinda ke futhi sikhuluma ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi. If it's your first time joining me today and you happen to like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi kanye ne notification bell ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Guys, finally we do the review of Uthando Nesthembu season 6 episode 12. I don't know why I'm feeling like this season is dragging a little bit too long, or maybe it started a bit late in the year, because usually doesn't it Uthando Nesthembu usually end at the beginning of December normally? Or I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're at the middle of December and we are still having episodes coming, because there's still another episode coming next week, you guys. So the first scene, it's a meeting, you guys. Ayikho into eyenziwa kaMseleko like a family meeting. Okay, everything everything they do a family meeting. Kodwa ke it does make sense, you guys, because obviously they are shooting the show. Sometimes it's just convenient for all of them to be at the same place if they need to discuss an issue, and to make it seem real, you know, the solution is just to call a meeting with all of the 4 wives and This meeting was supposed to be about Sne's pregnancy. It's like officially Musa is saying to the other wives, is telling them about Sne's pregnancy officially, because already everyone knows about Sne's pregnancy. I must say, you guys, I do think Umselego is disappointed by Usne. I think he is heartbroken a little bit about it, but I feel like he has softened talking about this issue when you compare his emotions from the day that he found out about the pregnancy and episodes following that and tonight. This was the first episode where I felt like, okay, uyamukela, he's accepting what this is what is happening with Usne. He doesn't sound as angry. But in this scene, he's expressing his concern about the other girls in the family. He feels like Usne is the firstborn, and he feels like if Usne keeps on falling pregnant and they accept it as a family, and the other girls are gonna feel like that is normal. Ukuzalele ekhaya is normal, you know, just falling pregnant without having a stable life or a stable relationship is okay, and that's what they're gonna do too, because Usne is the oldest in the family, and he wants to come up with ways where you know, they prevent that from happening to the other girls. But all of the wives are feeling like, listen, we've had all the talks that we need to have with the girls, just like we've had all of the talks that we needed to have with Usne, but she still went on and had a child. So Khumalo even said, we can only hope that the words that we say to them, they remember them, they stick with them, because at the end of the day, we are not with them 24/7. They have to make their own decisions. Like Umpilo, I think they mentioned Umpilo lives alone in Joburg. So I mean, really, what can they do? You know, they're just hoping that she is responsible where she is. Umangwabe says when it comes to Usne, even though they're all concerned about her, and she feels like also she has done all she can, like talking about Usne. This is a scene where I feel like, okay, maybe the wives do care a little bit more about Usne than I have seen in the past, because I thought that nobody cares, because they were hardly ever talking about her, honestly. So for them to have this conversation, I was feeling like they care a little bit, you know, especially after that scene that we saw where they were making fun of the situation, which was uncomfortable to watch. So this one made me feel better about the situation. I was like, okay, they must really care about her, because they all express how they have had conversations with Usne. But Umangabe says one thing about Usne is that she doesn't look like she regrets anything that happens, because even on her status she's posting she's happy with the baby daddy. You know, it doesn't look like anything is wrong. So it's like sometimes you just have to leave her alone, let her live her life, because she doesn't look like she's regretting. I don't think that there is much that they could possibly do in terms of her having kids, because she's an adult now. She needs to make a decision, and also they could find her some help in terms of helping her, because there is something that is not happening with Usne in terms of growing up and maturing and becoming a better mother, and maybe they can help with that. But at the end of the day, Usne is an adult. The ultimate decision whether she's gonna have another child after the third one or not, it's on her. Whether she becomes a better mom, provided that the information that they have given us, that sometimes she doesn't do the best that she can with her children, then ultimately the decision is her to take steps to become better with all of those things. But she is an adult, you guys. Even posting her boyfriend, because I thought, but she is an adult. I mean, if she wants to post her boyfriend, she can post her boyfriend. Yeah, she's an she's an adult. When Umangwabe was saying that, I was like, yeah, but she does have a right to post, but maybe she must just block the wives so they don't say it. But Usne doesn't look like she cares at all. Look, she's just living the life. You must follow her on Instagram and see, and Facebook as well. She's just living the life. She doesn't care about all of these things that people are saying about her. Umangwabe raises a point here while they are talking about Usne. She says, she's asking Umusa actually, he thought about what he previously mentioned, because Umusa said before, there were things when it comes to Usne previously that were not taken care of in terms of abantu abadala. And apparently, this is what Umusa explains in the diary session. He says, number one, Ummaga Musa Mselegu did not like Ummaka Sne. So she did not like Sne's mom, okay? And then, and she said a lot of things when Sne's mom was pregnant with Sne, okay? And also the people from Sne's mom's family said a lot in retaliation while Sne's mom was pregnant with Usne. So Usne was born into that conflict between the two families, Also, these people passed before they actually were able to resolve the conflicts, because Umaga Musa Mselegu passed, but then also Umaga Sne is no longer living, as far as I understand. So, and then there are people that are still alive, but nobody resolved anything because other people are no longer living. So Usne was born into that conflict. But he says, and as much as he could do from his side, he feels like he did everything that he could. But there is that Usne was born into that conflict, and that possibly negatively affected her life. Mdletshe is of a belief yokuthi this has nothing to do with abantu abadala, this has nothing to do with amadlozi. This is just Usne. If you fall pregnant, it's because you slept with a boy and without protection. That's all that there is to it. It's not that deep. That's what she's basically saying. Angazi, guys, good in this scene, Mdletshe was just in the mood. That's the thing about Mdletshe. Like right when we are thinking this season, Mdletshe is so nice to everybody. This is her best season in terms of just her being friendly and loving to everybody. This scene obehlinile for no reason. At some point, even Umakhumalo points out, no, was it Umangwabe who pointed it out? Mdletshe wasn't saying anything. Umselego even asked, don't you want to say anything as far as Usne is concerned? And she didn't want to say much. I don't know, she was just in the mood. I feel like Mdletshe is a difficult person. It's a difficult person to do life with, because you think, yeah, we are happy, we are friendly with each other, and then one day she just shows up and imodi ishintshile. She was just in the mood. And sometimes I don't understand, like when they are having a conversation, you would have a wife that won't contribute much in the conversation, and Umselego is not all the time that he's going to ask, what is your contribution to what we are talking about? But when it's Mdletshe that doesn't contribute to the conversation, he will make sure that Mdletshe gets to say something, like she must be given that thing ukuthi okay sesikhulumile sesiwazula ama-point and but what does Macele say, we hear you but what does Macele say, like she gets that from Umsele, which he doesn't give to the other wives. I don't think I like it when I feel like he's not treating the wives equally or the same. But at the same time, guys, is it even possible for you to have 4 wives and treat them exactly the same at every moment? I feel like maybe it's an unfair expectation to think that a man will be able to really do that all the time. And obviously Macele was not interested in saying anything. She just said ukuthi okwamanje usaxekekile indaba kaSne, so she doesn't have a lot to say. And then I think Uma Khumalo was trying to change the mood, and she's telling them in that same sitting about the fact that they got an invite to Ep12 July. And so everybody, is invited and whatever. Everybody gets excited about it. I'm trying to think that I'm like, July, which Ep12 July was it? Oh, it's this one. It's this year's, I think it's this year's Ep12 July. So because they shot the show this year. Yeah. So yeah, you guys, so they're everyone is excited about the fact that they're going to go to Ep12 July. They think everyone thinks they deserve Moya and all of that. I guess the invitation came through Uma Khumalo for some reason. I think Uma Khumalo is more in entertainment than the other wives, and so I guess it would make sense that the invitation came through her. So now, so that was the scene, you guys. The meeting ended there about, people being happy that they are invited to Ep12 July, okay? So now the next scene, remember Uma Khumalo and Umselego had spoken about the fact that they're going to do Umembeso. So they've decided that they're going to do Umembeso. So Uma Khumalo is going back home because Umselego had asked her ukuthi ahambe ayekhaya ayosho indaba ukuthi they've decided ukuthi bazokwenza Umembeso. So she goes home. We get to see Ubaba kaMakhumalo, guys. Like you guys liked Ubaba kaMakhumalo, siphinde sambona. Siphinde sambona Ubaba kaMakhumalo again in this episode. So she's going home. She finds her father there on the phone, and she doesn't understand what is he busy with on the phone. And they were just joking with her mom because she was saying, you need to pay attention to Baba when he's on the phone. You never know. Maybe he's busy with girlfriends there. And Umawake is like, I don't have to worry about it. He's a pastor. I guess he's a pastor. Ubaba kaMakhumalo. So he's busy with izinto zesonto on the phone. It's not the girls, And Makhumalo is like, oh, okay. Mina umsele kumayisefonini, I know for sure what it is. Anyway, uyabatshela ukuthi the date has been decided for indaba yomembeso, which they are happy about. Ukuthi finally it's happening. Ubaba kaMakhumalo does mention at some point ukuthi Umsele kube no Makhumalo babhala, because we always wondering when they say ukuthi they got married, what kind of marriage it is. Bashada hlobo luni lokushada, and uthi babhala, meaning ukuthi they went to Home Affairs to sign. He does mention that, but he's talking about something else. He says when they went to sign, so apparently everything was done except for Umembeso, and then Uma Khumalo kuzofaneka ayokwaba ayosina emzini, mina ngisola ukuthi wavela Umseleki. Let's just say that wavela walunguza. Wavela because if ungakawenzi ulona ungakawenzi Umembeso, umbondo uhambisa kanjani Umembeso ungakalokhu ungakenziwa, and then ilokhuza, and then usazokwaba futhi uhambe uyosina emzini. Shuthi wacela Umseleki. But anyway, Uma Khumalo says ukuthi wayesekhokhe yonke into except for Umembeso, okay? So we'll take that. Fine, and then they talk about indaba ye-list, incwadi le hambayo ene list yomembeso. They say it was already done, and Uma wakhe is like, hey, I wish I could only do it now. I guess she wants to update it. If you think about it, guys, Uma Khumalo has been counseling for how long? That list was made when? it needs to be updated. They must send a new list. But it was just a fun conversation with her family. They are excited to finally Umembeso is going to happen. And Umakumalo Naye sounds very excited about the fact that it's going to happen finally. Hey, they've waited long, you guys. So yeah, I'm sure she's excited about the event. And Umakumalo Uyamazi, she likes being beautiful, and I'm sure she's looking forward to it. Okay. Then you guys, the day of going to Durban July comes. Okay. So they have booked a house. I guess the house is somewhere at Tegwini. They have booked a house abazofikela kuyona. So for those coming from Mzumbe, they said they use the same car coming from Mzumbe to Sea Park, where Umacele lives with her family, with her kids, and then they were going. And then there was another car that was going to take them to the house that they booked in Durban, where they were going to get ready, and then bese beya lokhuzak. Bese beya with Durban July, okay, which makes sense because Durban July is like the whole weekend event thing. You don't need to be rushing home after the event and all that. You can just be close by and be enjoying Durban at the same time. I think it's a good idea to do it like that. So yes, now Umangwabe no Mayeni, obviously they're coming from Mzumbe. Umakumalo didn't look like, did she arrive with them? With Lokozana, with Babum Selego. Umakumalo, I'm not sure noma already. Remember, this is in their besties with Umacele. So it's possible they were already there. I need to check that scene again actually to see what Umakumalo was she already there, Kamacele na. Because abantu that looked like they were arriving was Umangwabe kanye noMayeni arriving with Umselego to Macele's house so that they can wait for the car that is going to pick them up, so they go by a Tegwin. Now they start discussing the makeup issue. Already Umangwabenje was just not in the mood because they are discussing this thing, makeup. Apparently they have the same makeup artist, all of them. They have this lady Uthabile that does their makeup, okay. Now, since they're all going to the same event, they say there's not going to be enough time for her to do all of their faces. So she said she was going to bring somebody with her to do the other two ladies. So she was going to do two and then do the other two ladies. From everything that I heard in the conversation, it felt to me like Umakumalo is the one that made the makeup arrangement, So since she was the one that was communicating with Uthabile, they made a decision that Umacele no Makumalo will be done by Uthabile, which is the girl that normally does all of them, all the four wives. And then Umangwabe Benomayeni Bona will be done by the assistant, okay? Which I thought the assistant might actually be very good, but they just don't want to, they are comfortable with Uthabile, I guess. So they're discussing that. Umangabe Nomayen, they're not happy that they are being made to use the assistant as their makeup artist when they want Uthabile. So now, I guess during the conversation, Umselego is trying to understand what is the issue with the makeup artist and what is upsetting other people, because at the end of the day, everybody's face will be done. So Umangabe even says she feels like benzing amabomu to choose the two of them for Uthabile. The besties, the besties chose Uthabile for themselves. So Uthabile will do the two of them, and then Laba Benzi will assistant. And they're not having it. They are not happy with that. So at some point, Umangwabe walks away from the conversation and goes to the car. How do you choose? Because she is our makeup artist song. So why do you choose what Mina no Mayeni would be? And the ones that are done by the assistant. Honestly, I felt the same. I felt like if the assistant is so good, why didn't Umacele no Makumalo choose the assistant? But Uthabile, the main artist enze umayeni noma ngwabi. It says something that they chose Uthabile for themselves, and then they like the assistant must do umayeni benoma ngwabi. So it was shady a little bit, but at the same time I was feeling like, nah, but uma ngabe benoma yini, if you are going to the event, why are you leaving it up to Makumalo to make arrangements for the makeup artist? Because call Tabile yourself and say, Tabile, I need to book you for Deben July. Can you do my face? And why did you leave it to Makumalo to be the one to make a booking? And then you have a problem with the arrangement that she has made because Tabile won't have enough time. That there was the issue that I had, which why bengasibukhelanga bona. Number two, if there isn't enough time for Utabile to do the faces, why didn't they just arrange to go there early? Because they were going to get to the house and then do their faces before they actually go to the event. So why didn't they just arrange to go there in early so that they have enough time for Utabile? Because they all wanted this Tabile girl to do their face. So why didn't they just all go there early so that she has enough time to do all of them? So while they are in the car, Umakumalo makes a decision to say, okay, since the most important or complicated part in makeup is the eyes, the way you do your eyes, so why don't they get Utabile to do all of their eyes, and then the foundation and the rest is done by the assistant? And I think Umacele agreed with that idea, and Mayeni Patumangwabe was no longer really talking in the car. So while they are riding in the car, because they're all riding in the same car, Umangwabe is not interested in anything. I think Makumalo had this vision of a ride to Durban. They're going to be having fun. But the others were like, we're not having it. And she kept saying, hey guys, we're just enjoying the ride. But it was a boring it was a boring ride for people going to Lokuzan Durban July. Okay, fine. They get there. They didn't say where the house is, but it is a beautiful house. Everybody, they choose the rooms. Everybody is happy with the rooms. We all know Mselego is going to be sleeping in Macele's room. And everyone is happy with the rooms. Everyone is happy with the house. Now, Utabile. It's not the same as Makumalo. So I figure Utabile, makeup artist with the assistant, to set up so that they can start doing the faces, and the others were still eating. Yeah, but they had arranged for food there, I guess. So they were still eating. Umangabe was lying down in her room, taking a nap. They were in the kitchen with Mselego, and Umayeni decides to go first with Utabile to do the eyes. But when they are done doing the eyes, she realizes the others are still in the kitchen eating. So she says to Utabile, the whole face. Yabon. So they're in the kitchen, but they're discussing the makeup artist. Umselego is trying to understand. So the assistant, does it mean there's another artist that is coming, since you guys said that there's two makeup artists? Because this one said she's not a makeup artist, she's an assistant. They're trying to explain to him she's an assistant makeup artist, meaning herself, she is the makeup artist. I don't know why Umselego was into... in Pagati, she was just too interested in the ladies. They were doing the makeup. I was like, agathembakali. So while they are now they're putting the foundation and everything, and Utabile is trying to rush so she can get to do the other ladies. I didn't feel like it was an issue initially, because in the diary session, Umayeni explains the reason she did that is because they were still eating in the kitchen. So she thought, since Vele she wanted Tobile to do her makeup, why not? Why doesn't she just finish her? So she's finishing her, and then Makumalo realizes that they are already putting the foundation on. I think Umacelo who asked, who said, when they're supposed to just do the eyes, I think now they're doing the foundation. And then Umakumala is like, no, but they're not supposed to do that. So she goes and confronts Umayeni. Which we said which she was going to do the eyes only. Why are you guys doing the whole face? And Umayeni is like, no, but ngibone nisamile lapha nikisho ngisongathaka ngenzi. She's like, no, that is Umakumala is like, that's not what we agreed on. I felt like, because they were almost done, she should have just let the lady finish Mayeni's face. You know, it wasn't necessary because there was already tension in the air. Umayeni is like, I had nothing to do with the second person that was hired. The person that does my face is this one. So you guys decided to call the second person to come here. I didn't have to have anything to do with that. That is when Khumalo says she feels like Umayeni is pulling them because they had agreed on the fact that Ulona was only going to do their eyes and not the whole face. It's a petty fight, guys. It's a petty fight. Had I been one of them, I would have been like, okay, fine, let the assistant do my face. If you're not happy, Tabula is there, is right there to fix you, you know. And the fact that Tabula, who's really good with your makeup, trusts the assistant means that the chances are the assistant is really good as well, but nobody wants to go with the assistant. Now guys, tension now your makeup unnecessary, really, you know, which means by the time they get to the event, it's not gonna be happy, you know. It's not gonna be a happy event for them because they're already going there with tension. Okay. Now, they did show a little bit of what is happening in the next episode, you guys. And it does look like they're going to be going to Durban July, but it's will be tense. All because of the makeup. And Umakumalo does say, when they go to Izinteganjena as a family, you have to take a chill pill, because there's always going to be something that is going to mess with your fun time, you know. And so that's what is going to be happening next week. I don't know how they end up doing their makeup, if all of them end up having the main makeup artist do all of their faces, or they end up using the assistant. I don't know, you guys, but I know that at the end it's all tensed, because when they go to the Durban July, those photos that we see there, we saw in the newspapers, online, in Instagram, them looking happy. It was social media. Social media lies. Those people were not happy there. It was just tension. Anyway, you guys, I hope they are able to turn it around though, because for me it just wouldn't make sense for you to go to Durban July and not have fun. Like, really? Do your face, get the outfits, travel from Umzumbe all the way to Durban, and then you don't have fun. It just wouldn't make sense. So hopefully they are able to turn things around and still have fun together. Anyway, you guys, that's all it was today's episode. Honestly, it was an okay episode. It wasn't too exciting, really. Like I say, guys, we are getting used to having kids thrown in now and then in the episode, and now it's becoming boring when we don't have a kid's storyline in the episode. These people are becoming boring to us. I'm telling you, their storylines are becoming boring to us. Anyway, that's all that was all in the episode 12 tonight, and we will wait for the next one. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Tell me what you thought about this episode in the comment section, but I'm interested to know what you think about this makeup fight, because for me, I just felt like it was petty, you know. It really was, you know. And even them saying do the eyes and then finish, even that is petty. Just say, guys, who can use the assistant, or if you can use the assistant, if the assistant doesn't do a good job, Tabula will fix it or whatever. There were so many solutions instead of just that tension that they ended up creating. But anyway, That's what happens esithenjini. Everything is a big deal and everything is a fight. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before uphume kuyona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Nginithanda kakhulu.